Afternoon. It is October the 29th. Yes, that's right. It snowed again last night. So it's definitely looking like winter might be here more or less to stay as we get into November and there's no sign of a big thaw. It is going to be barely above freezing. It's only -2 today, so it is actually kind of warmer. If the sun came out, you'd see a lot of melting, but at least on the streets. But there's no sign of the sun really today. Won't take too long a walk, but I thought I would walk over into Lakeview, which is a nice, snowy, looks nice in the snow, I mean. Maybe go through Rotary Park. So, yeah, Friday's experiment with live streaming directly into YouTube, I did not like at all. The comments came, couldn't read them, they were jumbled, and they also faded before I could even focus on them most of the time. And the whole walk, part of it was out of focus in the middle. That was probably because of the gimbal acting up, though, not because of YouTube. But anyway, so I've gone back to my multi-streaming software here, Prism, which works great and lets me stream to Facebook as well, which is what I'm doing right now. Hello. See, I have no idea why the gimbal does that. Well, there I am. That's not what I want, so. That is so weird. It didn't do that before, but it's done it several times now. Well, let's make sure we're still focused in the distance and not where my face was, because that's what made it. That's so weird. I even recalibrated the gimbal here so that it wouldn't do that. So I thought that would stop it from doing it, but it clearly didn't. I wasted a lot of time this morning trying to get my websites up and running. They're having some sort of problem, and they're all kind of either not working or very, very slow. I think because I'll walk on the dike probably tomorrow, I'll go over this way. Take a slightly different route. Whoop! Jump for the curb. We'll still end up at the footbridge, but we'll get there at a somewhat different route than sometimes. The channel has monetized. I have made 61 cents so far. Since reaching the magic 1,000 subscribers, so yay me. The question is, do I offer memberships? Like a $2 membership and you get a free ebook or something. I don't know what else a membership would give you. I don't really have much else to offer. Behind the scenes videos would be somebody else following me as I walked. Shouldn't be too exciting. Why would the gimbal suddenly decide to turn around and point at me like it does periodically? It's so weird. It's almost like it thinks I'm holding it backwards. And coming into a week with lots of, just an ordinary working week. Lots of writing and editing and publishing stuff to do. Oof, oof. Oh, look, those are the dogs that made me fall a year ago, 2 years ago, on this very spot right over there. That was October 11th, and we had just had our first snow, significant snow, sort of like this, and it was slippery, and down I went. I'm sure the sun will come out again someday. It seems like it's been gray for a long time here. Okay, we go down Cameron here. That'll take us across the footbridge. Then I think I'll walk through Rotary Park and do a little turn. Not too much. I'm figuring this will only be about half an hour, 40 minutes today. We need to look at some music because tonight is rehearsal night for Wascana Voices, which is the self-directed choir that I sing with. It's this very nice house. Some Halloween going on in front of it. Halloween is Tuesday, of course, and Tuesday night I will be out walking with the trick-or-treaters as I have done the last couple of years. So that should be fun. Although, hopefully I don't fall down on the ice while I'm looking at trick-or-treaters. Bridge, of course. Look at the creek to the east, and look at the creek to the west. And you'll see that it's actually freezing. Last time I crossed the bridge, it was still all liquid. I'll go down this way through Rotary Park today. You wouldn't walk on that ice, but there's clearly enough ice there to support the fresh snow, so it's frozen. Frozen over. Dogs. There are always people walking dogs. Just a few scraps of old leaves left now. Last weekend it still looked kind of autumny with colors of leaves, but the snow brings them down in a hurry, anything that's left. So not much left hanging on after a few snowfalls. Nothing major, but a centimeter here or there starts to add up. In summertime, you can't really see the creek through these bushes, but you can now. Danger, thin ice. That's because there's an outflow here of some sort. A culvert. Hello. So this is Rotary Park over here. Again, running beside the creek. Well, now that I could actually see comments, nobody has made any yet, but I can see a little number there, so somebody's watching. There are some paths over there, but they're very clear in this weather, so I think I'll stick to the main one here. Another culvert. Later in the year, there's often kind of a homemade skating rink along here on the ice. Not there yet. Said there's a thin skein of ice enough to support some snow, but you would go through in a hurry if you tried to walk on that. Another experiment today was I took the protective cover off of the iPhone in hopes that it would sit in the a little better. I do seem to have a better horizon. As I said, I also did a recalibration, so that may have helped. Hopefully it's staying in focus today. I did refocus it after it turned around and looked at me, but just touched it again to make sure. I'll get up here and see what's happening at the spillway. Probably not much. Albert Street Bridge is also the dam that makes Wascana Lake, and the water's coming this way over the spillway, if any is flowing, which I don't think it is, not to speak of anyway. Sometimes in the spring it really comes pouring, boiling over there. Nothing really moving there right now. Okay, we'll get up here, we'll cross Regina Avenue. We're going to zigzag up to maybe as far as Hill, and then come back the other way. Maybe only to McCallum. I really don't want to walk too long today. So maybe we'll cross at the light if it's still green when we get there. It usually stays a long time because Albert Street is a major north-south route, so it's quite a long crossing light here, which is helpful for me right now. This house is for sale. I've been in it. It's a nice house. It's all sort of one level, but it's, quite large. I'll stick to the streets, I think so. I won't do the alleys today. So if you went straight on out Regina Avenue here, it takes you straight to the airport. Not even 10 minutes. If you're in a car, it's about 5 minutes from here. Maybe 10 by the time you get to the terminal building and are unloading, but no more than that. It's not snowing, that's frost or snow coming off the trees, if you saw it. Okay, we will turn left here now, get away from Regina Avenue, which is a bit busy-ish. Nothing's really busy, but somewhat busy. We'll just zigzag our way up here until we zigzag our way back again. It's a nice neighborhood. The big elm trees overarching the street. Gimbal, and the mystery writer, lives in this neighborhood, and a few years ago, after I'd interviewed her for something, I took a picture of her standing in the street right after a snow, so all the trees were white, kind of a winter wonderland, wintry tunnel kind of look. And she liked it so much she used it as her author photo on her book, whatever book that was that year. She writes mysteries. I don't remember exactly, but it was in Lakeview here somewhere. As far as I know, she's still in the same house. This is Angus. Now we will turn right onto 20th Avenue. Again, I like this house. I like the symmetrical, classic look of it. To the right, to the right. There's Albert Street, just over there. You went down that way, it takes you right in front of the legislative building. For some reason, there's police cars. It's a protest or something, I don't know. This is what the alleys look like, which I'm not going down today, but have in the past. Oh, sorry. People have complained, well, one person has complained if I change the point of view too quickly because they like to walk along on a treadmill. These little traffic control islands are unique to this neighborhood. Keep you from zipping down the street. You have to slow down to go around them. Not exactly a traffic circle, just a slow down thing. Alright, now we'll go around along Ray Street here. Mostly still the older houses around here. There's a few newer ones, but most of them are still from the 20s probably, largely, or even earlier. Certainly some of them would date back. Our house is built in 26 and is in the same ballpark as some of these. Some are probably older than ours, and some are probably younger. There's a big one with an interesting roof. All those big dormer windows up there. It's very interesting design. Definitely an older one, I would think. It's probably in my Historic Walk to Regina Moose Jaw, but I don't remember any details about it, which is a book I wrote a few years ago. I walked through this neighborhood with a camera, took pictures of everything that was in the book right after a big snowfall in February. So everything looked gorgeous, but it was hard work slogging through the snow that day, as I recall. This is McCallum. How long have I been out? 20 minutes? Well, maybe I'll just go as far as McCallum and work my way back from here. Oh no, I should go. Hey, maybe I should go a couple more blocks anyway before I start zigzagging back. I haven't gone that far this way yet. Or I could just walk down McCallum, of course. Maybe I'll do that. As I said, I don't really want to walk a long way today. And there's some interesting... It's a very broad street with big yards. And you have the doll's house over here, built by an architect for his daughter, maybe that Gwen. It has a historic properties plaque in front of it. A unique house. Then there's a much newer one over there. I have people watching, but nobody has said hello yet today. I'm feeling all unappreciated. Not really. That's Utah Lake. If you went straight down there, you'd hit the creek. But if you went on over the creek, then you're going right by our house. More Halloween happening here. Our neighborhood gets a lot of trick-or-treaters. There's a house just around the corner from us that does a big kind of haunted house thing. Oh, there's somebody saying hi from Belgium. Hi, Tom. Tom Baker, presumably not the guy who starred in Doctor Who. This is actually a new house, I think. It's a big one, but it might be an old one that was refurbished, but I think it's new. Not 100% sure. This is Robinson. I think I want to zig this way now. Oh no, let's go down and go down by the school. Go a couple more blocks. Straight ahead on our right is Lakeview United, which is where I've sung many times and will be singing again soon. This lyric singers concert I'm currently involved with, Beatles and Bacharach, is going to be performed there in their auditorium, not their religious auditorium, but they have a gymnasium type attachment. And they're even going to let us have a bar, so, which is very important. I don't think we would have performed there if we didn't have a bar. Watch this house being built in earlier walks. Always made me think of that. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. They certainly shouldn't in that house. Then over here, that's Lakeview United, right ahead. We'll go this way, down, me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. This here's the schoolyard. That's the house. That was just barely being started when I first started doing these walks. Now it's all built and lived in. Lakeview United. Yes, those are people use. Anyway, hi Alice, but as I've mentioned before, when people use emojis, they show up with a text descriptor. On here, I don't see the emojis. So anyway, waving back at you. Well, there they are. I got the text. Now they're showing up as waving hands. I am doing fine. I think you're the one that was talking about 4K for monetization. The 4K is the number of page views, or views, not the resolution required. So the channel has monetized, as I said off the top. I've made 61 cents so far. So at this rate, I might be able to buy a cup of coffee in a week or 2 or 3. Oof. I think people can do that super chat thing and just give me money, but I don't know why anybody would do that. This is Lakeview United. Not United, Lakeview School, sorry. Oldest school in the neighborhood. Old parts from 1914, the new parts from the 30s. I think 1914 was when it was built. Somewhere along in there. And this will take us here on Cameron, straight to the footbridge again. There's the front of the school. Well, I can't live stream using this app at 4K, and I don't think my bandwidth would support it anyway. I think there'd be too much buffering, so I might, I could do a recording at 4K sometime, but I couldn't live stream at 4K. A couple of newer houses there, and over there. There's quite a few newer ones in this little stretch of the neighborhood. Maybe sometime I'll just do a 4K walk around the lake or something. Post that. Maybe a non-talking one on a beautiful day like the one I have pinned. If you go to my channel, the one that's pinned there from last January it's hard to get more beautiful than that. With the hoarfrost and the snow and the early morning pink light and everything. That's why it's pinned there. Or you're waiting for 4K views. Oh, you're waiting for 4K watch hours. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm at well over that, so that wasn't a problem. Oh, building a new house down there. No, I had the watch hours long before I got to the subscribers. Oof! Surprise! That's what the confusion was. I thought you were talking about resolution. That's what I think of when I hear 4K. And I could, as I said, record in 4K. I just don't think I could live stream in 4K. So tomorrow is usually my creek walk, so if I walk tomorrow, it'll be along there. Oh, look. My battery's already dying. Another reason to keep this short. Well, that was unexpected. Well, it is about time to upgrade to an iPhone 15. So that's coming relatively soon. I'll have to if I want to keep walking in the cold, because clearly the battery this year is dying even faster in the cold than it did the last couple of years. I'll look at the creek to the west. And to the east. Maybe I'll go down the dike part of the way since I came from this direction last time. No, I have an Osmo. I used an Osmo, but I went through 2 of them with various problems. That's why I'm now using something else. This is a higher end one than the Osmo, at least the Osmo that I had. So I won't be changing gimbals anytime soon. I'm talking about upgrading to the iPhone, not the gimbal. I could use the old Osmo again just for comparison purposes, but it had something was wrong with it, and it was jittery. It had quit smoothing things out appropriately, and resetting it and everything didn't seem to fix it. So I decided to go up a notch to this one, which in general I like more. Hi, Jerry. We'll stay up here. As I noted earlier, the creek is frozen enough now that snow is collecting on it. Wouldn't walk on it, but it's definitely got a skein of ice on it. I actually have 3 gimbals, so this one I can't even tell you off the top of my head what it's called, but construction-wise and appearance and everything else, it's a step up in my estimation from the my old Osmo. But on the other hand, I had an older and lower end one. I didn't get the top of the line. Okay, we'll go down here and, well, no, I don't usually walk down this way. Let's go down one more and stretch it out just a little bit. Ontario. Maybe I'll go down here. Maybe I won't. That's probably slippery. I'll go up here where there's a proper ramp. I could go down the alley here. I don't think I've ever done that, so let's do that. Go down the alley here. This is a much more gentle slope than the last one was. Georgian Bay, cool. My daughter graduated from the University of Toronto back in June. And my wife is from Toronto. She was born there and grew up there. I think we'll stick to the alley now. This will be Leopold Crescent ahead of us. Well, that's probably our cold weather making its way east, is by moderated along the way. But it's supposed to be 0 plus 2 later in the week. Halloween is looking for a high of 0 and a low of -4, which isn't too bad. There's certainly been much colder Halloweens. It's unusual to have snow. It's not unheard of by any means, but unusual to have snow for Halloween. It's usually a bit later. I always figure Remembrance Day is about 50-50, whether there'll be snow or not. This year, barring a thaw that doesn't appear to be in the forecast, I think it'll be snow on Remembrance Day. Up here around the corner, and then just a short block, and I will call this quits today. Not too different for Halloween there. House for sale. If you'd like to be my neighbor. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day to be neighbors. Won't you be mine? One more block, we'll stop at that stop sign up there because that always seems appropriate. As I always point out, this is the house where they shot a movie starring Linda Carter about 30 years ago now. 25 or 30. My brother used to live in Kincardine. He worked for Bruce Power, vice president of Bruce Power, actually. We got a tour of the nuclear power plant there when it was being refurbished. But they would get tons and tons of snow. You just had to go a few kilometers inland, and it dwindled away much drastically because of the lake effect off of Lake Huron. Now, I'm down to 10%. The battery would die if I had walked any further, so I'm going to have to keep my walk shorter until I get a new phone. Okay, we will stop here at the stop sign. So thanks for walking with me. Subscribe if you haven't. And I should be back tomorrow. Bye for now.